What's Gucci with a fam, veterans, military. Today we're going to be talking about musculoskeletal issues that majority of veterans are lowballed for. Majority of you are sitting at 0 and 10%. You like this type of content to get that increase, get more compensation in your pocket, let your boy know. As always, like, share, subscribe, and let's jump into it. So, a few of these slides, just give you all a little rough skinny. I do got detailed videos on majority of these, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But VBA just came out with their annual benefits report of fiscal year 2023, and it does include some of the top earning VA disabilities. Got some good information in there. You're going to check it out. And majority of veterans for musculoskeletal issues across the board are rated as 0 and 10%. Why is this? Well, it's mainly due to veterans not understanding what is needed when it comes to submitting sufficient medical evidence, as well as staying in to the doctor. You got to stay in with your doctor, make these complaints, get records, because if you solely rely on that compensation and pension exam to provide the VA with medical evidence from a year, 2 years worth of waiting in the claims process, you're going to do yourself a disservice. And you're going to be like, oh, why can't I get 20% at least for my knee? 20% for limitation of flexion, and so on and so forth. So when it comes to the knee, majority of veterans, they claim limitation of flexion of the knee. However, you can also claim extension as well. If you have any issues with extension, you can claim that, as well as instability of the knee. And there's a whole host of other things. However, it starts with the medical evidence. So what's good medical evidence for your knee? X-rays are good. It'll get you in the door. It'll get your service connected. But MRI, detailed, without contrast or with contrast, that's going to be your bread and butter. On top of that, you definitely need to be getting into your doctor, your physical therapist, your treatment, whatever. You need to be accurately capturing your limitations on flare-ups. Hey, take a video. Like, hey, I can't extend my knee, limitation of extension, past 10 degrees. On multiple days, multiple weeks, whatever the case may be. That's sufficient data. Submit pictures to the VA. But I recommend, if you're going through anything, hey, hobble your ass down to your physical therapist or your doctor, have them recorded so it's a medical record. Hey, Vet Debo came in, his knee wasn't flexing, it wasn't extending when he tried to lift it from a seated position, as well as it wasn't flexing when he was bringing it back. Record that. It doesn't matter how long it takes, how many times you need to go in. If you want to get a higher VA disability rating, more compensation in your pocket, you got to do the leg work. No pun intended. You know what I'm talking about? Going back into it. Moving on from here. Then we got lumbosacral or cervical strain. The VA rates both of these under the same thing to include thoracic. So yeah, it starts at 10, 20. There's a 10 and 20% level on here. Just for, reference points, you can go to the CFR 38, Control F, thoracic spine, cervical spine, lumbosacral, whatever the case may be. VA rating starts at 10 and 20%. I left those off because majority of veterans are at that level, if not 0%. Then a couple more at 20, and then the higher the VA rating goes, the less and less that veterans are service connected at those higher levels. Now, all veterans, not all veterans, but if it applies to you, you should be able to get up to 30% if you're having issues with forward flexion of the cervical spine, or thoracic spine with favorable ankylosis of, okay, cool. Forward flexion, if you're having issues, pretty much bending forward, side to side, left and right. If you're having issues with the thoracic spine, which is the mid-back, cervical spine, which is obviously cervical, and lumbosacral area, that's the low back, baby, low back. If you're having issues going left, right, if you got to turn your whole body, okay, cool. Get that recorded down. Get it diagnosed first. Get identified in an X-ray, in an MRI mainly. Build that medical evidence. Get in with your doctor. Get it recorded. Move on from there. And then we got limitation of motion of the arm. And the VA awards several different VA disability ratings for this. If you have any issues with your shoulder, if you have any issues with your elbow, if you have any issues with your wrist, with each individual digit of your hand, you can get service connected for this, but you got to understand the measurements. The measurements is what's going to get you into those higher VA disability ratings. Limitation of motion of the arm awards from 20 to 40% per arm. So, and it definitely goes off of what degrees. What is your limitation? Is it 90 degrees? Okay, that's 20% per arm. Is it 45 degrees? That's 20 and 30 per arm. You know, the higher percentage being the dominant hand. Flexion or abduction. Cool. 40%. Moving on from there. Then we got ankylosis of the elbow. Limitation of flexion of the forearm. The higher percentages on the left represents the dominant side of your body. The right side is your offhand, obviously. And still, you know, these are just basic. It's not basic, but you know, these are basic service connections that veterans can get. And this is not even talking about secondary disabilities. If you can master the art of going to medical, recording, whenever you're having a flare up with your back, with your spine, with your cervical area, elbow, you know, knee, wrist. Shit, I've been having wrist issues for the last 6 months. Don't know what it is. Don't know. Hey, it's just like, it's limitation of flexion, baby. Limitation of flexion. Record it down with your doctor. Have them take the measurements with the gyometer. Oh, this thing right here. This little protractor looking thingy. You know what I'm talking about? Have them record it. You got to do your due diligence in order to get service connected, as well as in order to get 40, 50, 60% for your forearm alone. You know, it's a lot of veterans, they'll spend years trying to get service connected for sleep apnea VA disability claims. But you already service connected for both shoulders, both knees, both forearms, both wrists at 0 and 10% per each. How about you just do your due diligence and maximize what you currently already have service connected? Go to medical. If you don't have an MRI on file, request one. You already got an x-ray, you got service connected, more than likely with that, and then any complaints. And then, you know, the VA is like, okay, we'll give it to them. I can physically see that, you know, you got some like Quasimodo shit going on. But in hindsight, an MRI, CAT scan, something that can dive deep into it, is going to be your saving grace, to include getting your doctor, your physical therapist to take recordings, take pictures. If you got a spouse, lover, friend, gym buddy who sees this on a daily basis, have them record it. Have them start, you know, putting it into your logbook. Take a picture of it. Hey, ex-friend of Depot took my limitation of flexion of my knee recording on X day. It's not that hard. It just takes a lot of effort to do it. But a lot of veterans don't want to do that. They want to complain about how they don't have a higher VA disability rating. At the same time, they don't want to put in that work it takes to get there. They just want it thrown at them. And cool, hey, you know, everyone wants free money. Everyone wants free benefits. But as long as the VA is the VA, no, you got to get smart. You got to get educated. You got to stop looking at some clickbait-ass videos, because that's all I see y'all doing. You got to get educated. You got to get smarter on the VA disability claims process, because the benefits are there. The longer you wait, that money is just getting recycled and recycled and recycled. Some veterans get it. Some veterans don't. You know who do get it? Congress. Motherfucking House of Representatives. Motherfucking the Senate. Bills. You know, everyone who shouldn't be reaping the benefits outside of veterans for all things VA disability, they're reaping the benefits. Because where do you think that money goes every year? What do you think? It just doesn't fall off into the abyss. No, it needs to be spent. They got to take into account, what if every single veteran was out and they were all at 100% permanent total? Then what? Maybe then that veteran basic income would be like, okay, hey, y'all all at 100% P&T. We don't even need VBI or UBI. We don't need that. No, you know, some universal basic income, veteran basic income. We don't need that. No, everyone's at 100%. But it could be, hey, I'm just throwing things out there. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. But hey, let me know what you think. What are you doing right now to best prepare yourself to get that increase, to submit that claim? If it's your first time claiming, do you know you have everything needed to get service connected? Let me know now below. Until next time, this motherfucking Debo out. Y'all say Gucci with it.